On 39, number 5 is kind of difficult, but we did have an example just like this in our notes from the distributive property. If I remember correctly, it was the third example. It looked like that. That invisible one. Almost the exact same problem, so it shouldn't be too bad. We have that negative sign on the outside. Normally we're used to seeing a number, but like I just said, really this is a -1 out in front. So we're going to distribute it to the p and distribute it to the 6. We get -1 times p. Bring that minus sign down. -1 times 6 equals 0. What would -1 times p give me? Just -1p, right? 1 times 6 gives me 6, and 2 minus signs make a plus in the middle there. Now we're just going to subtract 6 from both sides. We get -1p equals -6. Divide both sides by -1. P is equal to 6. All right. Anybody get p is equal to +6 for number 5? 3 people, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, good, 10, perfect. Down to 8. Now this one's a little bit tricky because of these fractions. That's going to be our focus for today, so we'll get nice and comfortable with seeing these fractions in here. But for this one, it's not too bad. The number that we're going to distribute is this 4. We're going to distribute it to the 1/2 x and to the 1/2 on the end. It's going to look like this. 4 times 1/2 x minus 4 times 1/2 equals 16. Now, what's half of 4?
2.
2. So 4 times 1/2 just gives me 2x minus 2 equals 16. Just like that, right? Just taking half of 4. If we were distributing an 8, we'd take half of 8, right? We want to bring this constant over here to the right. The inverse of -2 is +2. We're left with 2x equals 18. What should I do last? Divide both sides by that 2 in front of the x. We're left with x equals 9. Any questions I can answer on that? Perfect. Take a look at the back. We got 2 on the back, number 12 and 14. What are we going to distribute in number 12? There's a lot going on here. What number is the distributing number? 24? -2. Take a look. This is the number outside my parentheses. We're going to distribute it to the 3 and distribute it to the 7m. We're not even going to touch the left side for now. We're going to keep it as it is, 24 minus 4n. -2 times 3 plus -2 times 7n. Right? Even though our order is all flipped up and switched around here, we're going to follow the procedure like normal. -2 times 3 is -6. 2 times 7n is 14n. And what happens when we have a plus right next to a minus like this? What does that form?
A big minus.
Big minus, that's right. Right? So we got 2 moves to make before we divide. We want to bring our constant to the right. That's 24. We want to bring our variable to the left. This -14n. What's the inverse of -14n? Plus 14n, good. So we're left with -6 on the right. 24, what's my new variable term over here? -4 plus 14. It's like 14 minus 4. 10, good, plus 10n. Now we're going to bring this constant over to the right. I'm going to continue it up here. 10n equals negative 30. That's what we end up with. Divide both sides by 10. What's my n? Negative 3. Thank you. Absolutely right. Negative 3 is what we get. Hopefully this stuff is becoming more and more understandable. If not, there's tutoring after school tomorrow from 3 to 4 that I'll be here for. Just come on by and we can talk about this. But first, let's talk about 14. 14, again, I'm distributing on the right-hand side here. 6 times 6 and 6 times v. Just like that. 6 times 6 gives me 36. 6v is obviously just 6v. Right, after we distribute and simplify, we're going to bring our variable to the left, bring our constant to the right, subtract 6v from both sides to get 2v. Subtract 22 from both sides to get 14. And divide both sides by 2 to get 7. Just like that. Right? Anybody get 7 for number 14? A couple people. If you did, you're on the right track. You're definitely up to speed with what we're doing. And today, although it might be a little bit challenging, shouldn't be as bad as you may think. All right? If you're all done with